Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. I'm going to answer one of the most popular questions in regards to buying a full frame camera body on the Nikon side. Do you buy the Nikon D610, D750, or Nikon D810? I'm really making this so I could just send this video instead of just having to write out my answer every time someone asks, because this question is asked pretty much daily and pretty much every single week. I have video reviews, especially on the Nikon D600, D610, and the D750 down in the description below. So if you want to find out more details, more in-depth review on my, real 100% honest opinions on those, please look at those down in the description below. And if I could, I might put them on the screen with the cards. So check for the eye in the sky, maybe up here, all depending on whatever you're watching, to see those videos. So this is pretty much one of the confusing things, because the 750 was thrown in regards to, the full frame cameras to buy, different price ranges, different features, semi, and there is a lot of different options now to buy from. So which do you choose? This is my true and honest opinion for how I like to shoot, and for how I think these cameras and what they resent, in regards to what niche and what all they do and everything like that. And these are 100% honest. I know there's going to be fanboys out there who bought some of these cameras, and if I don't necessarily like it, they get pissed off, but I don't really care. This is my honest opinion. You spend your money on what you want. I spend my money on what I want. And in reality, it doesn't matter. If you like shooting with a certain camera more than I do, then good for you. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I have shot with every single one of these cameras, and I've been hands-on with them. And I feel like they do have their own certain, merit, certain place in the market for what they provide. I'm not going to cover the 750 and the 610 right now, because I think the most specialized camera out of all three is the Nikon D810, the D800, because of its 36 million megapixels of a camera. Now, when this camera was announced, it really blew away the market because of its megapixels, and it was the first really higher end megapixel besides the Nikon D3X in the market, and now provided something different and a different type of shooting for a lot of photographers out there. But in my opinion, the Nikon D810 is a very specialized camera, mainly because of its 36 megapixels. Now, it did improve focusing a little bit from the 800, but it's pretty much the same camera. But, overall, you got to keep in factor two things. One, obviously the 36 megapixels, because this will impact your workflow. It really does. It really slows it up. It really can take a lot of time to open up these photos. And if you're shooting a wedding, if you really want to go that route, I'll cover that in a second, it can really impede your time and patience, for that matter. But you need a better computer. You need something that can really process and handle these larger files, and you need more storage. Yes, I'm not going to even go with the debate with memory or, all that kind of stuff anymore. There is higher end memory for cheaper now. That's just how it is. But keep that in mind. An 8GB card is useless with that type of camera. It captures a ton of detail. For portraits, for headshots, it's going to work really great. But I also think for sports, even though its frames per second isn't built for that, I say that because of its ability to crop in. Because of those megapixels, you can still retain high quality compared to a 24 megapixel sensor or a 12 megapixel sensor, where you really won't get that. But sports, it can help. It's not a preferred thing. It's just something that I don't hear people recommend, but it can really help if you know how to shoot and know what you're doing. But also architectural or landscaping, which I think is its two main, if not just landscaping, two main features. You get so much detail from that camera with that, and I really think that that is its strong suit. It is pricey for that, but you want extreme detail, you pick up one of those cameras and you will be blown away. But I use the 810 for weddings. Perfect. Once again, this is exactly the difference, I say, where I don't prefer it because it's the file sizes are too large, and you don't need that many pixels for the receptions and everything like that. Once again, it's personal preference, but I think it's more or less built for studio, landscape-esque type of work or architecture. So the 610 or the 750, which one do you go with in that remarks? If you're looking for the more of everyday shooting, those are the two types of cameras that you should look into. Now, a lot of people are really anal about the D750 because, it's the newest camera. They just spent a lot of money on it, but there are flaws with the camera that are being addressed, mind you. But there are flaws, and some are still being found with this camera. The first one was with the whole flare light leak issue, where a lot of people were like, oh, it shouldn't have happened, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but Nikon fixed it. They put a permanent dot mark that anyone can fix. And the next thing is counterfeit bodies. People are being sold counterfeit, secondhand bodies. So keep that in mind. And the third thing now, some of the hot shoes are a little too built out far for the camera, and it's not allowing the electronics to work with, speed light triggers or regular flashes or anything like that. So keep that in mind. But the D750 is a strong camera and has the exact same sensor as the 610 and the 600, just a little bit better, autofocusing. And really the only other improvement, is the tilty screen you get in the back. Once again, I have a full review of the D750, but if you like the tilty screen that just really kind of lifts up and just does that, it's helpful for some. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I really wish it was the fully articulating screen like, a lot of the Canons had, and the, like the Panasonic GH4. So keep that in mind. If you want that feature, that is the only option right now really in the Nikon line, full frame wise, to get the tilty screen. It's not touchscreen, but there is no option for the high ends like that. So there's that, and then there's the Nikon D610, which is primarily the same camera with a better grip. The ergonomics of the D750 are atrocious, in my opinion. I have really big hands, and that's really a common thought of a lot of people out there, that the 750, they tried to make it more portable, more slim, but it really wasn't working well, for a lot of people, and it's just very, very thin. It's very, very tight in regards to the grip. So keep that in mind when you're buying that. So I really recommend, if you can get hands-on with them, get hands-on. But the 610, still the full, 1080p, high-def video, same thing as the D750. It's just a better ergonomically built camera, and it's a cheaper price point. So in my opinion, in regards to which is the better buy, I'd say one of the better buys is to get a D600 or D610. You could get a great fast 2.8 lens, or two several prime lenses, 1.4s, 1.8s, and build from there over just the 750. But a lot of people say, well, I already have 2.8, I already have full frame lenses. Then you know what, the 750 might be an option for you. But a lot of people are complaining about the ergonomics who have owned it and sold it back. So if that's what you like, if you like the tilty screen, the 750 is a great buy. For really anything else, and both of these cameras being 24 megapixels, shoot pretty much everything, so that's why I kind of group those two in the same. I think the 600, the 610 with a good lens is a great buy if you're getting into full frame. 750, fantastic camera, does well in low light, blah, blah, blah. Just keep in mind some of the flaws that are still being found about it, that are still being worked on as you're buying this, and the D800, 810 for being that more specialized camera. All right, guys, so the guy with the eye. Once again, these are my opinions about this, and I really think they're realistic. I've said they have their merits. There's weaknesses to all. There's, pros to all. It just really depends on your budget. What do you want to shoot? So this is my answer to that question, and I'm always going to stick by it because that's what I think. So that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments in regards to buying these, once again, all my my review videos are going to be down in the description below. Please write any comments down below if you want any further help in regards to, what you're shooting, other further tips that you need, and is this a good option for you? And I'll give my honest opinion as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.